Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video, I'll be playing Veigar in the mid lane. And Veigar got a buff. His third ability got buffed. The cooldown got reduced by 2 seconds. And if you think that this is not a big buff, then you're not a true Veigar player. Because let me tell you right now, Veigar is not broken, but if you pick him into the right draft, he is broken. I just want to say that, first of all. And I'll explain what the right draft is during the gameplay. I'm not going to leave you with these vague sayings. And in any draft, he's just good, okay? Again, I'll tell you more about all of this during the gameplay. Now I'm going to tell you about how to build Veigar. So I've tested out numerous builds, multiple builds. And let me tell you, so first things first, Rod of Ages, never, ever go for Rod of Ages. This item is so not worth it. The simple explanation is, in the late game, you already have enough damage. So all you need is just, get as much early game damage as you can to get to that late game, okay? Because the whole point of Rod of Ages is to, to stack damage to the late game. But Veigar doesn't need that. Veigar already has enough damage for the late game. So that is why you always start with a Luden's Echo. Look, guys, I tried to start with a Banshee's Veil because this item actually got buffed and is, in fact, a very good Veigar item. Very good. But as a first item, it just doesn't quite do enough damage. So there's 2 ways that you can start off Veigar. First one is Luden's Echo. Second one is Sapphire Crystal, and then a Luden's Echo. So basically, there's basically 2 Veigar builds that are viable. First one is the one that you're seeing right now. Luden's Echo, Rabadon's Deathcap, and then either an Infinity Orb or a Void Staff. And the way that you can decide whether or not you go for the whether you go for the Infinity Orb first or the Void Staff is, do you want to one-shot squishies? Then boom, you go for the Infinity Orb. Does the enemy have champions like a Mundo with a Spirit Visage, or like a Galio who has a lot of magic resist? Then boom, you go for the Void Staff. It's as simple as that. Squishies, Infinity Orb, tanks, Void Staff. That's it. And even, listen to this, even if the enemy has tanks, but you mainly want to be focusing their squishies, if they have like a Master Yi that is going in like crazy and you don't really care about the tanks, then you can still skip the Void Staff as your third item and go for the Infinity Orb. So now let me tell you about the other build, which is incorporating an Archangel Staff. So, okay, first things first about this build. This build has more damage, okay? In the late game, this build has more damage. Also, this build has more ability haste. What I mean with more damage is more sustained damage, by the way, not more burst damage. The other one has way more burst damage. Third of all, as I said, this build skills way harder into the late game. But there is a but about this build, right? It's weaker early game, and up until you get the Seraph's Embrace, this build is just weaker. So this is really a build mainly focused into the late game. But if you finish those items, then it's gonna be incredibly powerful. Keep in mind, this build only becomes significantly stronger either after you finish the Seraph's Embrace or you get that Rabadon's Deathcap as your third item. Because keep in mind, if you don't go for the Archangel Staff, you already have your Rabadon's Deathcap as your second item. So as I said, the power graphs of these builds is basically this one starts off and then already gets pretty strong and then only gets stronger and stronger. But then with the Seraph's Embrace, it starts off weak, and then it becomes insanely powerful. Basically unbeatable, because you also get that shield from the Seraph's Embrace. So you have to decide yourself, okay? Am I in a game where I have to get my power quick? Am I in a game? If you're up against a Draven, for example, you don't really have time to build late game items. If you're against a Lee Sin, if you're against a Master Yi, you don't have to, well, actually Lee Sin you can, but if you're up against a Master Yi, you can't. Because if he gets to that late game, he's gonna destroy your team. But what I mean is, you just basically have to decide, can I very easily get to the late game in this matchup? If you have an easy matchup in the lane, can I get to the late game? Then you go for the Seraph's Embrace. If not, you rush to Rabadon's Deathcap and you go for this build. That's basically what I figured out is the best way to approach Veigar. And then as your last item, Banshee's Veil. This item is amazing now, especially if the enemy has magic damage. You can actually also get this item as your third item or your fourth item if you're struggling against champions like a Katarina, right? Or an Evelynn that is one-shotting you. Banshee's Veil is amazing. For your enchantment, there's 2 enchantments that you can go for. First one is Protobelt. If you have a rough time getting close to the enemies, you go for a Protobelt. Or if you just need a Protobelt, if you want to dash. And the other one is Stasis Enchant. This is my favorite. Now, while Protobelt is really good, Stasis is just generally better, because Very often you'll see when you're playing Veigar, especially if you're a good Veigar, you'll see that the enemy is always all in you. Because you are the problem of them, right? Like your ultimate and all, your cage is the major problem of them in a team fight. So they will dive you. Stasis allows you to stasis, right? Like you all know how stasis works. So for your runes, you go for Electrocute, always. You're a burst champion, so you go for Electrocute. Second rune, you go for Brutal. Believe it or not, you go for Brutal, not Gathering Storm. This is... This is a misconception that I had as well about Veigar. You don't need Gathering Storm. You need early game power. And even if you go for the Archangel Staff, you go for the Brutal. And no, you do not go for Champion Rune. And the simple explanation is you go for Brutal for Wave Clear as well. Champion Rune sure is going to give you a lot of damage early game, but it's just not worth it. And secondly, as I said, Champion doesn't increase your damage against minions. And as a Veigar, you want to push out minions very fast in the early game. So Brutal allows you to do that. Basically, always Brutal. It's as simple as that. For your third rune, it's completely situational, like whatever you need. Adaptive Carapace, Conditioning if you want to get to late game, Hunter, Titan, Anti-CC, Second Wind if you're against poke damage, Bone Plating if you're up against a Zed or Yasuo, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna tell you what to go for, it's literally whatever. Every single rune is viable for Veigar except for Loyalty. For your fourth rune, if you don't go for a Seraph's Embrace, so if you go for this build right here, you go for a Mana Flow Band. If you do get a Seraph's Embrace, you go for a Sweet Tooth. Because then you can get away, you know, with not having the extra mana. So if you don't go for the Seraph's Embrace, if you go for the Luden's Echo, Rabadon's Death Cap, blah, 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 you get a Mana Flow Band. If you get the Seraph's Embrace, you get a Sweet Tooth. So for your spells, you go for Flash and Ignite to increase your damage as well. So enough about the build. Let's now get into this intense game, guys. I have an absolutely amazing game for y'all. As you can see, Challenger, you know... And this was just a banger. Like this, I believe this game was like a 30-minute game, and you guys know how 30-minute games look when you have a Veigar, right? You guys know how it looks. First of all, I'm doing a skin giveaway, giving away 8 legendary skins. All you have to do is put a comment under the video to enter. And let me immediately get to the point that I was teasing you guys about during the intro, which is, when is Veigar pretty much a free win? Because there are certain drafts where Veigar is quite literally a free win. So Veigar absolutely hard counters bruisers. I was thinking about doing a test your knowledge, but then I said no, I'm already too far into this. But bruisers like Riven, Darius, Xin Zhao, Jarvan, Camille, Fiora, even champions like Master Yi, he counters all of this. So you may be thinking like, what? How does Veigar, who is a ranged... Oh, I screwed up. Oh, I think he filled his flash. I think he flashed into the wall there. I think he flashed into the wall. Wait, did he just... I think he... Well, I'm alive, I guess. Okay, that was stupid. But what I was talking about, the draft... so you may be thinking like, how does Veigar counter bruisers? How? He is a ranged champion. How does he counter bruisers? He counters bruisers because, first of all, you can very easily hit your cage on them. Secondly, you can very easily hit your first ability on them because bruisers generally want to chase you, right? They chase you. And as a Veigar, first ability auto aim, you shoot it backwards. Easy hit. Third of all, when you put those bruisers in a cage, more often than not, they do not have the tools to escape. They don't. They will get stunned. Like, they'll just get stunned. You know, also Jax, for example. Veigar hard counters the champion. They just all can't escape. Because if Jax tries to jump out of your cage, he gets stunned. Your cage doesn't allow him to jump out of it. That's the beauty of Veigar. You know, if you catch a Darius in your cage, he's screwed. He's absolutely screwed. Camille, she cannot hookshot out of it. Like, all of these champions just get countered so hard. Also, supports like the Braum, you know, these also get countered. Now, who do you have to be careful with against when you play Veigar? ADCs, ranged ADCs. Like, with the new Stormrazor meta, basically, Stormrazor, the single item Stormrazor hard counters Veigar. And so this obviously doesn't help you with the draft when I tell you this, but what does help you with the draft is look at the enemy ADC. Is that an ADC that really benefits from the Stormrazor? For example, Jhin hard counters Veigar because one shot from Jhin plus the Stormrazor plus the root destroys a Veigar. Next up, you have Jinx. She counters Veigar. With the Rocket and Stormrazor, she destroys Veigar. Caitlyn as well, right? Like, but if you look at Ezreal, he doesn't. If you look at Draven, he doesn't counter Veigar because his range is not that big. This is how you have to think as a Veigar. Like, is the enemy able to just kill me? And you know, if they have bruisers, they cannot go on you as easily, then the answer is no, right? If they have champions like the Diana, Katarina, blah, 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 the answer is yes, because Katarina does counter Veigar. But, what is that item called? Banshee's Veil is a good counter to that. I'm here baiting the Orianna. If she can just hit a root, I just hit a root and I would kill him. What is he doing? He doesn't do anything. And now he ults. Now he ults. I'm dead and he ults and he dies as well. What? Just use your ultimate and I kill him. He was waiting for me to die and then he ulted. What? What? Okay, whatever, let's ignore it. Now let's talk about Veigar's playstyle. Because we all know what Veigar revolves around, right? Like this right here. You see this right here? 21 stacks. This means I'm getting 21 ability power extra. This is what Veigar is all about. Ooh, it's good that I got that one basic attack there. Because, you know, the way that it works is if you kill a minion, if you last hit a minion with an ability, you get 1 stack. If you get a kill or an assist on an enemy champion, you, what was it? You get 5 stacks. So like, basically Veigar's high risk, high reward, you know, he's a high risk, high reward. You can play him low risk, which is farm, which is good, you know, which is really good, because then you can farm up, get some stacks, but you can also play him high risk. But if you get rewarded, it is very high, because if you team fight and kill all of the enemies, you know, get kills or assists, you get 25 stacks, which is huge, 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 huge. And like, there's also this common misconception where it says that Veigar sucks in the early game, because after you get your Luden's Echo, he doesn't suck. He's actually pretty strong. Obviously, he's not insanely powerful, but he is definitely good. Like, right now, I am definitely, like, you know, probably just as strong as the Orianna. Maybe even, well, not stronger, because she's a level ahead. But what I'm trying to say is Veigar is actually very strong after that Luden's Echo. Yeah, this game is not going too well. My team is kind of trolling, but it's okay. You know, it's okay. And the way that I upgrade Veigar is, first I fully upgrade the first ability, because this is going to be your main damage ability. Then I fully upgrade the third ability, because fully upgrading the second ability doesn't really make much sense. Oh, that's a kill. Boom, and ult. There it is. Amazing. It's as easy as that. If one of your allies sees an enemy, for example, the Malphite ulted the Orianna, all you have to do is put your cage around that enemy and you just kill that enemy, basically. Whoever it is, you just kill him. Except if it's Alistar, for example, but you know what I mean. So here you can see how Veigar counters champions like the Bruisers and the Alistar, right? Like, you saw how I used my third ability on the Alistar. Alistar couldn't do anything. Alistar couldn't escape. That's what I mean. That's the beauty of Veigar. He hard counters those melee champions, and especially Bruisers. So like right there, cage. I caged them all, you see? They just can't do anything. My team has a massive advantage because the enemies are all caged, so they can't run away too far. I was talking about something though. What was it? Come on, hit your root. Oh, what kind of ultimate is that? What is this, man? What kind of madness was that? No, enough. Stop talking. Oh, and then I die. What a... This game hurts, man. This game hurts. Oh yeah, true. This is not a support video anymore. I am still working on more support videos. I believe it or not, the support videos are still not done. I'm still not done with you guys out there. I'm still making support videos. But yeah, I'm also uploading some other videos now because I was playing some mid lane too, right? So don't worry, I'm still working on the support videos. I got you guys. I mean, my channel got absolutely destroyed by the support videos, you know? Because as I said, support videos get low views, blah, blah, blah. I don't care, but the YouTube algorithm, blah, blah, blah. You guys don't care. But yeah, that's basically what happened. But it doesn't matter, you know? As long as the support mains get their videos. So Lux is also a champion that does incredibly well into a Veigar, just so you know, by the way. Because if she hits me with a root and then does her full combo with her ultimate, she can one-shot me. So that is the danger of Lux, you know, that is a very dangerous champion. Kai'Sa doesn't counter Veigar. Why? Because she doesn't have big range. And she cannot ult out of your cage. Well, actually, a very good Kai'Sa could counter Veigar if she ults right before you put down the cage. But a normal Kai'Sa, like, you can just destroy her. Because if you put a cage around her, she cannot ult out of it anymore. The Alistar is an Abyssal Mask. Kind of annoying for me, because I deal less damage to the Alistar now, but it's okay. He's not my main focus anyways. Hey, there you can see it again. He actually has a QSS? Wow. He has a Quicksilver enchant to go out of my stun. Boom. Oh, I was talking about why I'm upgrading the third ability first. Because this upgrading the second ability only gives you flat damage. It's not worth it. But let's take a look at this fight. That was a beautiful hit on the Kai'Sa, by the way. I can flash and ult him. There we go. Wow, that was amazing. That was a good Senna ultimate as well. See, this is a perfect fight for Veigar. I just got 3 kills / assists, which means 15 stacks. Amazing. This is like, these skirmishes are absolutely amazing to take as a Veigar. Like, if you're under your turret, it's always worth it to trade your death as a Veigar. Obviously, it's not worth it if you're 10-0 and, you know, you have a massive bounty. But you know what I mean. It's pretty much always worth to trade kills as a Veigar. Because you're gonna get those 5 stacks as well. Enemies are gonna get the gold, you're gonna get the gold. But on top of that, you get those 5 stacks, which is 5 ability power. And if you combine it with a Rabadon's Death Cap, it's even more. Because Rabadon's Death Cap increases all of your magic damage or all of your ability power by 40%. So those 5 ability power that you get is gonna turn into 7 actually. So you see, like, that's why it's so important to get as many stacks as you can on Veigar. Oh, I got that jungle. Placing my cage in the middle of the fight, as you can see. I wasn't really aiming at anyone. And you don't have to. Like, you really don't have to as a Veigar. I just put it in the middle of the fight, as you saw. In the middle of the river. So the enemies just couldn't cross and do anything. Here, I cannot do anything here. Like, my team has to go. If they don't go, then I can't. So they do go, actually. Which is really good. Unfortunately, I ulted an Alistar who had already used his ultimate. That was a massive mistake for me, because Alistar's ultimate reduces damage by like 50% at level 1. So that's why I wasn't able to kill him. But look at this cage though, how strong it is. But I screwed up really badly here, because I shouldn't have ulted the Alistar during his ultimate. Because I literally just wasted my ultimate. It was pretty stupid actually. I could have gotten a kill. Oh. Was I blind or something? Well, I guess I just didn't look. This Senna is playing pretty well though, as you can see. Wow. Nice. That was good. We have Veigar and Senna. These are both super late game scaling champions. So if we get to the late game, well, they have an Orianna, but if we get to the late game, we should have a massive advantage in this team. Morgana also scales into the late game, but I don't really believe in this Morgana, because from what I've seen in this game, yeah, she's not really playing too well. Not too well. I got my third ability maxed now. The stun duration when you max it is... How long is it? I think it's like 2.25 seconds. Yeah, I think it's 2.25 seconds. Pretty sure. 1.5. Yeah. So when it's at level 1, it's 1.5 seconds. And then every time you level it up, it increases by 0.25. That is why I max it right after my first ability, because it's worth it. Here, yet again, placing my third ability to keep the enemies away from my team. He's dead, first ability, and boom, easy kill. You see? Like, the beauty of Veigar is if you combine him with other CC champions, he becomes infinitely better. Oh, nice. You're right, like if an enemy gets stunned, you can then follow up so well with all of your abilities. You can just hit the enemy for free. Because that is really the only problem of Veigar. Hitting, like actually hitting your abilities. If the enemy is stunned, it's easy to hit. But like here you can see how long the duration is. But if the enemy is not stunned, of course they can dodge your abilities. And your first and second ability are all squill shots. So it's hard to hit. So that's why, you know, you stunning the enemy with your cage or your allies stunning the enemies makes it infinitely stronger to play Veigar. Yeah, in this game I'm going for the Infinity Orb, because even though they have the Alistar and the Vi... Actually, So I could have gone for the Infinity Orb, but I guess I decided to go for the Void Staff, because I figured that I really want to kill the Vi. So instead of focusing the Squishes and the Alistar, by the way, because if Void Staff is going to be very strong against them, I guess I'm focusing on the tanks in this game then. Yeah, I was focused on the tanks. Just keep stacking. Why does he take my minion? I need to stack. There's no jungle at all. Oh, by the way, quick little tip. Your second ability actually gives you vision. If you put it in a bush or over a wall, Veigar's second ability gives you vision over the place you're using your ability on. So if you want to check a bush, you can quickly use it for vision. It's very nice actually. So I need to push out the wave and help my team instantly. They put down a Rift Herald, which is actually a very questionable Rift Herald. Looks like it's just a free Rift Herald for the enemies. Ooh, Vi went too far. That is a kill, as you can see. There it is. You see how powerful it is? If the enemy is low, your ult is so strong. It just one-shots. But now the problem is, like now you can see them with their range. If we don't CC them, Malphite is actually waiting next to the bush. If he ults someone, it's a free kill. So I should have baited them to the Malphite so he can actually ult them. But if he doesn't, then it's nothing. Like here he ults, I immediately follow up with my cage, and as you can see, these are all free kills because I followed up the Malphite ultimate with my cage. You see how easy it is? That's what I mean with Veigar. If your team CCs the enemy, it's free kills. Here I put down the cage. Oh, and look, this is what I mean. Kai'Sa cannot ult out of your cage. She was forced to ult because she was afraid of my ult, but it was useless. You see, it was useless. My dad, really. He killed me with the Sunfire Aegis. It's kind of awkward. But there you can see, that was a really beautiful fight that I did. Oh, now I know why I went for the Spirit Visage. Where I went for the Void Staff, because Vi has a Spirit Visage. So it is worth to go for the Void Staff in this game. Because otherwise Vi would be really unkillable for me. They're going for the dragon? Nice, they got the dragon. Hey. Oh, and when you get level 13, your ultimate is gonna be on an insanely low cooldown. Like, very, very low. You can spam it on pretty much anyone. And what I was struggling with in the late game, I remember in a few games, was not even using my ultimate in some fights. Like, basically trying to wait for the perfect moment. But that's not always good. Like, very often, especially if you don't go for the Seraph's Embrace, if you go for this build, you may get one shot in a team fight. So if the enemy just hardcore dives you, like what you need to do, use your third ability and just use your abilities and try to incorporate your ultimate as well, and then use a stasis enchant so you don't get one shot. Because it's the worst thing that can happen with a Veigar is you dying without even using that super powerful ultimate of his. Because that ultimate is really what makes Veigar insanely powerful, right? Like you one shot their squishies. It's really, really strong. And this jungle right here, by the way, is very good as well because it's all free stacks. It's 10 stacks for free if you take all of that jungle. He's going for the farm. Boom. Free hits. Look at that. I just killed the Vi. You see? She got baited by the ward. I knew that she would go for the ward. And then I just used all of my abilities to kill her. And it was an easy kill. Now we killed the Vi. So we have a massive advantage. Baron is up. If we fight now, it's a 4 versus 5. Oh, they're getting poked way too hard. Ooh. I hit him though. I don't have my ultimate, otherwise I would have just killed him here. Nice, nice. I shouldn't go on the other side. Look, place the cage in the middle of the fight, just so they cannot do anything. Yeah. Look at that. I have my ultimate in 3 seconds. Oh. I may die actually. Yeah, I'm just using stasis. Probably gonna flash out. Yeah, there we go. Whoa. Well, I'm alive. Nice. That was way too close. Well, we're doing pretty well now in this game, actually. We're doing pretty well. Actually winnable now. The Lux just... I think the Lux just tried to kill me in base. That's kind of funny. If that worked, that would have been amazing. That would have been actually amazing if that worked. As you can see, the enemies are so fat though. Like, all of them have so much gold. So we really need to get just a tad bit further into this game to get strong enough to beat them consistently. Like, anyone who face checks is an instant one-shot here. Like, instant one-shot. Me and the Malphite especially should be an instant one-shot. I'm just using my second ability to get vision. As you can see, they can't hide the Baron from me. I can always put vision on it. Look, boom, every single time with the second ability. I have 200 stacks by the 213, which is quite good for 17 minutes into the game. It's actually very good. Not quite, it's very good. You wanna aim for 10 stacks per minute. 10 stacks per minute is generally good. They just took my blue buff. Oh, Ezreal and Morgana were attacking it, and then Morgana... Oh, whatever. It's It's whatever. Would have been much better if I took it, but it is what it is. Come on, catch anyone. Oh, close. Look at it, like we have so much CC. We have so much. No way! Malphite just wasted his ult. Instant ult on the Vi. Look, I just one-shotted her from like 60% HP. How do we lose this game? This is literally unlosable at this point. Quite literally unlosable. There is no way that you lose a game like this. Like look at how much damage I have. I have stasis to escape as well. This is risky. Enemies don't have a jungler. You as a Veigar can also smite, by the way, just so you know. With your second ability plus first ability, you can smite. I am so tired of this jungler, man. Like, why did I even trust the jungler? I should have just focused the dragon. I could have smited it very easily. Why do I, like, after what the jungler has done throughout this entire game, just playing like an absolute potato, I for some reason think that he's gonna smite the dragon. But he just doesn't. He just doesn't smite the dragon and we lose it. And now they have the Elder Dragon, which means the game is not a free win anymore. The game is just not a free win anymore now. Even though we have the, like, this was undisputably a free win in the late game, but not anymore. Because they have an Elder Dragon and they have a lot of, they have 3 dragons with an Elder Dragon. This is definitely not a free win anymore. But still, we can still one-shot them, but this dragon is just so annoying now. Yeah, wow. I'm just dead. Oh, never mind. He used everything. This is a problem. The true damage, the healing that they have. They're taking the Baron, but we all know what Veigar can do. I should have just secured that dragon. Like, I'm blaming the jungler, but I could have secured it as well. I shouldn't have trusted a random jungler, and I should have secured that dragon. That was my fault. That was definitely my fault, actually. Veigar can very easily steal that. Like, you deal so much damage to the Baron and the dragons. That's what I mean. Like, you can easily outsmite anyone and anything. Like, I don't know why I didn't do it at the dragon. Yet again, it was actually my fault. I should have just smited it. Especially when you have Infinity Orb. You deal like 3,000 to 4,000 burst damage to these objectives. That is right. 3,000 to 4,000 burst damage with your second plus first ability combined. And what I'm telling you to do is practice. Like, you can go into practice mode and practice making it a 1-tick damage thing. What I mean with, I just killed Kaisa by the way, but what I mean with that, a 1-tick damage thing, is obviously your second ability and your first ability are 2 different kinds of ticks of damage, right? Like, your second ability deals damage and your first ability. But if you hit these abilities at the exact same time, it becomes 1 tick, which means instead of dealing 2,000 and then 1,000 damage, which gives the enemy a chance to outsmite you, it instantly deals 3,000 damage. 1 tick of 3,000 damage, which means the enemy can never steal it from you. Never. And to practice this, the best thing that you can do is go into practice mode and practice it. Practice this thing with the tick and try to, you know, consistently get 1 tick of damage in practice mode. Then you can do it in a ranked match, right? Like, well, I don't know, my team is throwing, they're fighting with a Baron. I mean, I threw as well. I should never have died there. Because we had a Baron, I had insane damage, I should never get caught there. Unfortunately, Vi ulted me, but still, I shouldn't have gotten close there to the Vi. When you have a Baron buff, especially in a game like this, where the enemy has an Elder Dragon, you cannot afford to die like that. By the way, there you could see the 1 tick. There again, you see 1 tick of 1,997 damage. You see, like, you can do it in 1 tick. And on the Baron, it's gonna crit, because the Baron will be under 35% HP. That is how you're gonna deal like 3,000 damage. And the later you get into the game, the more it becomes. Yet again, I think that was 2 ticks, but you know what I mean, right? Like, the 1 tick is not that easy to pull off. But you know, it's kind of like a muscle memory. You have to get that muscle memory, and then it's gonna be super easy to do. Here, look at this jungle. Gives me 10 stacks for free, just for free. And boom, 10 stacks. Just like it's nothing. And I become more powerful. So the enemies have the Elder Ocean Dragon, which doesn't really do anything against me necessarily, because I one-shot them anyways. But obviously it just sucks, because for my team it's really annoying, because Orianna deals so much damage, she's gonna out-heal my team so easily. I got a Banshee's Veil, but of course my team has to fight, so I cannot get my Banshee's Veil. I really don't want to fight, because this Banshee's Veil is so important for me. If he had actually hit me, I think I would have died there, by the way. It's kind of funny. Please don't fight, please don't fight, don't fight. Please, no, please. Oh, they're fighting, they're fighting. Yep, they're fighting. Boom! Oh, he stasised it! What an amazing stasis by the enemy right there. Oh, he was guaranteed that. But he used a beautiful stasis enchant to avoid my damage. That was amazing. I need to defend this turret, by the way. Just... Oh, they deal so much damage. Like, look at that Orianna damage. She nearly one-shots me. It's crazy. And she's full life because they have the Elder Ocean Dragon. Oh, what an annoying game, actually. What an annoying game. I nearly have 300 stacks in this game, by the way. I'm full build. This is the pinnacle of Veigar. You get full build. Boom! You get full build. 2,400 damage now. I'm just, I guess I'm just taking farm for fun. I'm full build anyways. I shouldn't really take farm. I'm doing it for the stacks, but it's not worth. I shouldn't take the big fat brown guy, because my team can benefit more from that than me. But the blue buff, of course, I should take. Yeah. I guess the enemy is taking the Elder Dragon makes this game interesting. Because if we took it, we would have just won the game straight up. But the enemy's taking it makes the game a bit more interesting, I guess. I need to get vision on the Baron. Oh, my team already got vision on the Baron. Ezreal actually just wasted his ultimate to get vision. It's not good. I caught her. I caught her. Oh, she has tenacity. If she didn't have tenacity, she would have been dead. But her with her tenacity survived. Just quickly getting stacks, by the way. It's never too late to get stacks. Boom, that's another 10 stacks. I'm at 305 stacks now. We took the top lane inhibitor, so we can actually rush down this Baron if someone goes to the top lane, or we can force a team fight. The only thing we shouldn't do is get poked here. Because as you can see, we are getting poked. My team is getting poked, not me, but my team. They're all getting poked, and we're taking massive damage. I got her! I got the Kai'Sa again! There we go. Boom! Another stasis! Oh my god. We're doing fine though. We just have so much damage, it's crazy. Alistar is gonna be a problem because he's so tanky and he's gonna deal the true damage to all of us. He has a stasis too? Yeah, like Alistar is a huge problem for us. Look at how tanky he is. How crazy is this? And he's gonna heal up. Like, look at how much he heals up. Wow, my damage is insane, but he heals up by so much. Perhaps I should have gone for the green book. Oh. Ooh, another stasis. I killed him. I have ult, guys. It's just too much for me to carry, man. It's just too much for me to carry. I'm doing my best, but it's just too much. It's just way too much. What a game though, what a game. I sold my Luden's Echo and I went for the green book, which makes a lot of sense because I'm sacrificing a little bit of burst damage for the anti-healing because I realized, hey, I cannot kill the Alistar. I cannot kill the Alistar with burst. So I need the anti-healing so the Alistar cannot heal up anymore. And of course the anti-healing is good against all of them now because they have the Elder Ocean Dragon. So yeah, in this game I decided to sell the Luden's Echo. Alistar has full magic resist, by the way. Vi has 2 magic resist items as well. It's just gonna be a rough game for me to carry because they have so much magic resist. Like, they're nullifying so much of my damage. My team is fighting without me. Of course they are. I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, who needs a Veigar that has like 340 stacks? Who needs that, right? Like, why wouldn't you try to carry the game by yourself without the Veigar? Good question. All I can do is just try to steal this. We don't have vision. I didn't have vision, so I was forced to use my second ability for vision, and then I couldn't do the burst combo anymore. Sad. That is so sad. That is tragic. Yeah. Even reaching late game with 350 stacks is not enough to carry this team, guys. What can I do? Well, it was a good game regardless. That was a very nice game. Let's actually see how much damage I did and everything like that. 'Cause that was a very nice game. What? Oh, that was in the recording itself. That's funny. Let's take a look at how much damage everyone did. Yeah, he was trolling. Like, he was trolling. Actually, look, they actually all did pretty decent damage. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.